Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. And we are going back in time to look back at the Round 6 Suzukiii Swift Endurance Cup Challenge Championship, presented by Virtual Racers Club for Heel Tread, Aceless Designs. They did this round, oh God, it must have been over a week ago now. So we're looking back at the replay, and it was a hot contested championship. Let me get you up to date with the rules you may have forgotten, because it's been a little bit of time. What is the Suzukiii Endurance Championship? Is a brand new championship using Group 4 Suzukiii Swifts. This championship has been designed with a Formula E in mind, or with a time boost, or with a race, within a race, which will be using the Racing Soft as a boost. This championship will consist of 6 rounds where drivers will qualify on racing hard tyres and start and finish the race on racing hard tyres. Drivers will need to use the Racing Soft tyre twice within a race for a maximum of 5 laps. So strategy and timing will be key at every track, with places not being known until all have done their 3 mandatory pit stops. 6 rounds, 6 races. Qualify for 10 minutes on the racing hard, and the endurance race after is 60 minutes. I said we're at Bathurst for round 6, and it's a hot one, ladies and gents. Let me tell you, it's a hot one. Sorry, I was going to move the camera around while I talked, but then I realised I can't do 2 things at once. So, you've been static just listening to me drone on, and now I'm trying to change YouTube over so I can use my phone. Oh, bloody hell. So, oh, look, people in the chat already. Bazza saying, hey, thingy. Greetings from Belgium. Well, hello, Bazza. And Pat saying, g'day, mate. Feels like only last Tuesday I was in sunny, warm Australia. Yeah, me and Pat tried to cover this one, and it went real wrong with the new update. Right, I've got the championship. I took a snapshot of it because I knew they'd update the championship. And so I've got the championship before this. That's not good. It's not a great snapshot. I'm not a cameraman by no means. Let me zoom in here. So, the table before this round, it's hot, man. It's so hot. Homesick Alien and Racer Brown are both at the top on 73 points. Unfortunately, Racer Brown was on another one of his runs when this race was taking place, so he was unable to join. So Homesick Alien gets the upper hand on Racer Brown in this round. Snorlax, sorry, I can hardly read that. Snorlax is third or second in the championship on 71 points, only 2 points behind the Alien. So, it's tight. Then we've got a lovely little juicy battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th, with Ensign Newer on 56 points in 4th, Jim 5th on 53 points, and Guesty 6th on 53 points. So, That's got to be dealt with in this next 60 minutes. Then behind them, we've got Bazza in 7th on 44 points. Behind him, we've got Majid in 8th on 31 points. Jokas is 9th on 29 points. And Turtle Bandit is in 10th on 26 points. So that's the table. Now, we're going to do the grid, but, oh, God. Hey, talking about Bendit, he's in the chat saying, good day, sir. And Pat also saying, shame I can only watch for about 10 minutes before I have to go out. Oh, I'm sorry, man. It'll be there. You can watch it later. That's the beauty. Here's my mate, Jeff. All right, dude, how's it going? Looking forward to the race? It's going to be bobbins, to tell you the truth. I don't want to put you off before we even start, but it's dark, and Bathurst, you can't see nothing. So we're going to be 60 minutes of looking at headlights going around. They like it. They always do dark settings at Bathurst for some reason. The powers that be, but it is crud for streaming. But we'll go. We'll soldier on. Like big men, like big boys. So anyway, we've got the monster Suzukiii Swift. Car number 85 is Guesty. He put it on pole. Man's a legend. Then Snorlax in his championship contention, second fastest after qualifying, and that, you don't get no points for it, but that is a good score one against the homesick alien. Third on the grid then is said homesick alien in the telecommunications vehicle, and next to him we have car 66 Jim in the Karcher. Man, that looks good. Let's go around this way so we can have a good look at it. Nice. Might as well look at the cars now. You ain't going to see any of them in the race. Then next I'm starting to get shady. That's Bendit in fifth in the M&M's Swift. And next to him is, I want to say, Big Dan. I want to say that's Ensign Ewart. Oh, hang on. It is Big Dan. So, yeah, Big Dan. It's because he's usually now always in rich energy, so it's off-putting. When they start buddying up with one sponsor, I get confused. Oh, it's dark down here. You can't see anything, can you? Hey, they could do with another lamppost. Jeff. Tell them they could do with another lamppost down here. It's a bit dark. Can't see them. Anyway, it's the Baz in his glistening little chrome bits, but you can't see much else. And then we've got Jokers in the Telefonica movie star livery. That is our runners and our riders. And Bendit in the chat saying, for this race, I got a beer ready. Nice, already. For lippy now. It's, well, I mean, I can't account for time difference, but it's just about to hit the big 12 noon here in the sunny UK, I've got to say. It is absolutely, it's blue skies, baby. Blue skies all the way. Magnificent day. And Mama Sykes in the chat saying, hi, Thingy, hope all is good with you. Yeah, all is good with me. I'm getting there. Right then, let's begin. Oh, shall I have a little sip of my coffee? Quick hot beverage, please, if you don't mind. Before we see nothing. I tell you, nothing. At least with sport, I could do the close-in camera, but with 7, it's a different story. Here we go. Guest is on pole then. It's round 6 of the Suzukiii Swift Endurance Cup Challenge Championship, and it's coming to you now. How exciting. Lights are going on. And it's away down under, and it looks like Snorlax getting a little bit of a better start than Guesty off of the line. But Guesty's going to have the inside corner for Hell's Corner. And, inside line, I mean. And they're still side by side going up, mounting straight. Behind them, Homesick Alien maintains third. Jim's under threat from Big Dan. Big Dan looking to shine, and it's Snorlax, it says, in the lead, and it is Snorlax in the lead, and Guesty now has to... Ooh, hey up. I can't see Snorlax. So Guesty's in the lead. Bloody hell, I cut to that to the wrong time, didn't I? Snorlax on the inside, Guesty out wide, Guesty's out wide, and Snorlax is through, and Homesick Alien also up and into second place. Jim getting a position as well, and Guesty slipping down into fourth place with that wide manoeuvre in the second corner. He's going for a move on Jim already. They're all on those hard tyres, and it'll be, when they make their pit stops, is going to be integral. I think they're going to wear the fuel down. I think they're going to try and do lighter runs on those racing softs. So I don't think we'll see pit stops for a while yet. And pole sitter Guesty down in fourth. Snorlax, it's not enough. I don't think it's enough. All he can do is draw equal with Homesick, and it'll go to podiums, which Homesick has many of. So Snorlax, he needs a fastest lap if Homesick is staying in second place throughout this race. But at the moment, Snorlax putting Homesick Alien under a lot of pressure in the championship. But still, it's going to come down to fastest laps. Guesty took the point for pole. So the only thing that can make the difference now, if the positions stay this way, I know we're still on the first lap, and it's ridiculous to talk about this early in a 60-minute race, but I'm just saying, if that's the way it is, then Snorlax will need a fastest lap to win this championship. Jim in third place, and we thought Guesty was going for the move on Jim, but no, Jim somehow stays ahead of Guesty, and Guesty, pole sitter, he's got a lot of work to do. Fastest man in the 10-minute run before this. Then we've got Bandit. He's there in 5th place, and he's just ahead of Big Dan. Big Dan not getting that move done that he was trying to pull. Actually, Big Dan was trying to pull a move on Jim, wasn't he? So Big Dan slipping back behind Bandit with Jokus there in 7th place, and the Bazinator in 8th. I don't know how Bazinator ended up down there, but Snorlax leads from Homesick Alien, and the mountain is treacherous, especially when they come down it. It's scary stuff, so anything could happen. We're going to sit with Guesty at the moment in 4th place. He's got a bit of a gap between him and Bandit. Bandit keeping Big Dan at bay. And, well, actually, that was probably a closer battle. We'll go back to that. What am I doing? So Bandit, no, actually, he's pulled away from Big Dan now. Has Bandit. Big Dan slipping back into Joker's territory, and Joker's feeling like he's itching for a move. Snorlax still leads from Homesick Alien. Jim in 3rd place, Guesty 4th. Bandit is 5th, and Big Dan 6th. We're looking at Joker's in 7th, and the Baz with yellow. Look, it's I suppose it is. You can see just as much, but psychologically it feels darker with those yellow headlights. And Joker's having a knock with the apex of the wall there, and giving the Baz a good opportunity, but no, Joker's pulls his socks back up. He's back. No, he's scraping the wall, and now Barry has picked him up right in the wrong place for getting a move done. But if he can stay close to him up until this, was it, Forest Elbow, then he's in for a super duper chance. Oh, contact there between the two drivers, and Bazza up into 7th, Jokus in 8th. Snorlax still leads, but Homesick Alien looks set to make a move in the toe, coming down the long straight towards the chase. He's having a look, but no. Snorlax defends well, and Homesick Alien heavy on the brakes there, but he's still touching bumper virtually with Snorlax, taking him all the way. We're only on lap 2 of a 60-minute race. You do the math. We're 4.5 minutes in, sorry. So Snorlax and Homesick Alien chasing each other down. Jimbo, a little further back, he gets to view all the fun. And Guesty, Guesty is really harassing the Jimbo. Jim under a lot of pressure now. We're 5 minutes into a 60-minute race. It's going to be a long race, this one, I guess. Can't remember how to get out. There you go. So at the moment, Guesty sitting tucked up behind Jim. Keep an eye on Fuel, but Fuel's not really doing much. I think this one probably is not going to be about Fuel. Although there are very long straights here, and it is easy to burn your fuel down. Who can say? So we'll go back to the battle, up for 2nd and 3rd. Homesick Alien seems to have slipped back from Snorlax. Snorlax absolutely pushing, isn't he? But Homesick Alien did get the fastest lap on the 2nd lap. So Snorlax, but there is definitely a bit bigger of a gap there. That's a beautiful shot. The car's coming down the mountain. And Jimbo still ahead of Guesty. Bandit is catching them up. Bandit at 2:17. They were in 17, so I don't know what's happened this lap, but Bandit is definitely getting closer to that battle for the podium ahead. Big Dan, as he's all on his own. Look, he's got no one. He can see in the distance. You can see a little bit of Bandit, the M&M Swift, but overall, he's a little bit on his own out there. I just like my own video. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, it's not, I think of it as it's not my video, it's VRC's video. I'm liking their video that I'm talking of. So Big Dan there. He's got to do some catching up for Bandit ahead. Bazza, he's spaced out as well, and Joker's very spaced out. Oof. Joker's not having a great time of it, and it was Started this season strong. The wheel boys have caught up with him. The controllers are a little bit more helpful, I believe, on GT7, if you're a control pad user, as they say. But yeah, it looks like now these guys have got a few races under their belts. They're ooh, movement here. It looks like Guesty's going for a move on the Jim. As they come around Jim out wide on the dirty part of that track, and it's like, because it's dark, it's cold, not a lot of heat generated in the racing hard tyres, and Guesty gets that position up from Jim. Jim now has to watch about Bandit. Amazing job from Bandit, catching up these boys, and now he's sniffing around Jim for that 4th place, and Jim's got to beware, because Bandit is on an absolute super drive at the moment. Big Dan, he's not that far behind. If Bandit gets a bit held up with his battle with Jim, I think Big Dan's going to be staring that soup as well. Guesty out there, he's pulling away now. You can see, I think he was being held up a little bit behind Jim. He did get pole, remember, and now he's been released. They've released the hound, and Guesty is chasing that bone. Snorlax has lost the lead now. And yeah, we'll have to nip back 10 seconds, won't we? Oh, can't shout too hard, that made me forehead hurt. So, sorry. So Snorlax looking okay. Oh, grabbed a huge wad of sideways there. Decided he was doing a drift challenge, not a race. And that is how Homesick Alien caught and got the lead in this race, and Snorlax seeing that championship drifting away. And Snorlax at the moment, he's got the fastest lap in the race. He hasn't given up on that lead though. Look at him, tenacious in his racing is Snorlax. He wants it. Him and Homesick Alien drag racing down towards the chase. This is a beautiful sight, even though you can't see it. The headlights are flying. And Guesty is catching them where they're racing each other. They're slowing each other down. Snorlax slightly ahead of the Alien, but the Alien's going to have the inside come this corner. But Snorlax around the outside. Unbelievable stuff from Snorlax. What driving. Unbelievable stuff. Homesick Alien gives way to extreme excellence. And Guesty is now tapping the bumper and saying, yoo-hoo. Jimbo, he's pulled away a little bit from Bandit there. Bandit was gaining big, huge hella stacks of gains on Jim, but he's not now. He's dropped back a little bit, with Big Dan still in the periphery and wanting to get some action on. Bazza playing with time now. He's just chasing his own time, I imagine, in 7th. No cars in front of him. And Joker's also playing for time. Snorlax then leads, and oh, it's a beautiful battle now that Guesty's introduced himself, and it's a 3-way contention for the win of this race. Snorlax needs the win and the fastest lap to win the championship, and at the moment he's got the lead and the fastest lap. This is unbelievably tense. It's the tensest. It's a whole row of tense. Just down in the warm beverage. Oh yeah. So Snorlax down under is leading the race with Homesick Alien in 2nd. Their hearts must be beating 10 to a dozen. Guesty right on their cases as well, and it'll be in the back of their minds that Guesty was pole sitter. Oh, Snorlax has chewed on the concrete wall. He's in the middle of the track, luckily ghosted so the cars can pass by. But oh my word, it's gone from absolute terrible for Snorlax, and we don't like to rub it in here at the Virtual Racers Club. And let's look at that from Snorlax's point of view, leading the race. Everything is super duper, coming down through the S's. Oh, and it was just a nasty piece of oversteer. He tried to correct, but it was just too far gone. And my word, Snorlax will be screaming in the cockpit of that car. Unbelievable action here from down under. And now the fight is on between Homesick Alien and Guesty. Remember, Guesty, the faster of the two of them. before the race. Let's not count out Snorlax, but that's a big mountain, huge mountain to climb from 6th place. And that moves Bandit up into a podium position. He's got past Jim somehow. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bandit. I can't, because I don't know roughly when it happened. I can't go back. Oh, they both did an 2:18 that last lap around. It might have had something to do with the Snorlax situation. But anyhow, Bandit now up into a podium position. Beautiful stuff for the M&M Swift racer. Jimbo in the Karcher chasing him down. Big Dan Airfix Swift on it still, and in the action. Snorlax slipping from the lead down into 6th place. He can see the Airfix car, and he's just got to give his head a wobble and crack on. Bazza again just racing himself out there, and everything's looking yellow mellow. Hey dude, how you doing? And Joker's chasing him down. Joker's may catch Bazza 24 and a 22 last time. That'll be those headlights, I reckon. And Jokus with a 20 coming in hot. Coming in hot is Jokus. He still smells there's a position to gain in this race. Guesty, meanwhile, is leading the race. Was that how it was? It wasn't, was it? Homesick Alien was leading the race. He's got damage. He's got damage. My word, oh dearie dreary me. This race is full of action. Look, it was a while ago as well, about 40 seconds ago. So Homesick and Guesty driving up, I think it's Mountain Straight. And Guesty just trying to get onto the racing line, make Homesick Alien go very defensive in this corner, but there is marbles out there. It's a cold track, and Guesty, did he do it around the outside? Unbelievable stuff. And that was a brand new move. That was cracking. And yeah, Homesick Alien, I don't know where he got the damage from. When we caught him, he had damage, and I thought the move had only just happened. But Guesty pulling one off around the outside in turn 2. Unbelievable stuff. Great stuff. Oh, and that's where Homesick Alien took a big chunk of Barry R. Bandit then. What can he do? Homesick Alien's got to drive with a sick car for a couple of corners. And Bandit is zeroing in on the Alien. Behind them, we've got Jimbo. He's got a bit of space before Big Dan, and Big Dan doesn't have a lot of space before Snorlax. Snorlax bringing it on strong now. Bazza in the yellow, and Joker's trying to catch him. And he's throwing that car with no care whatsoever for its panels. Oof, again. Bang. I don't know if it's faster, Joker's doing it that way. Bang again. Oof. He really is trashing his Swift. It's the last round. He doesn't care. The one is going to the scrap heap after this one. And he's smashing it. Guesty's pulled away a lovely gap from Homesick, and Homesick really does have a huge problem from the Highwayman. The Bandit. Stand and deliver your money and your life. And Bandit is definitely going to try and pull a move on the Alien. If the Alien, he's shaking off his damage, so he's back up to pace. Oh my God, Guesty down, Guesty down. Man down, what's happened there? Guesty must have had an off call. Could you imagine if I jumped back one lap by accident? Oh, there he goes. He's gone for an excursion. Down under. He's gone off to the bush. He's gone on a bushwalk. And that puts Homesick Alien, which I bet he could not believe for the life of him he'd be back in the lead again after that spectacular move in turn 2. He's got to watch that though, because Guesty knows that move and he can pull it again. Bandit right on Guesty's case at the moment. Can he get the toe up the straight? We're coming up to a quarter of a race done. No sign of any pit stops yet for those racing hard tyres. And Bandit now, he's doing a Guesty. He's staying on the racing line, making Guesty go inside. The toe alone has helped him past. And now here it is. Who's got the big balls here? And Guesty, outside, inside, he cares not. He cares not what part of the track he will overtake at. He will overtake where he wishes to overtake. Guesty on fire, unbelievable stuff. And I thought Bandit had that one smashed in the can, absolutely done and dusted. But no, Guesty flaming in the Swift. Jim then in 4th place. He's still okay. He's got no worries behind him. Big Dan pulling the same lap times. 17.4 from Jim. And Big Dan also has 17.8, but he's got Snorlax. Ooh, Snorlax is having a wobble. Snorlax is facing the wrong way. And where's Baz? Too far away. And Snorlax gets back to the track, and this is going not the way Snorlax wanted this race to go. Unbelievable stuff. It says yellow flag, so Baz must be getting quite close, or unless there's someone off. Oh, it's Jimbo. Jimbo's had a huge one as well, in sympathy of Snorlax. Here we see, oh, again, it's that oversteered the wrong way as you come over that bump, and you turn, but the car, there's no turning there. And Jimbo, oh, pain, the pain. The pain, and here comes Snorlax. He knows your pain. He's been there, he's just done it again. Oh, they've got to really watch themselves. And there's Bazza up. Bazza, living the story of the turtle and the hare. He's coming through. He's got Jim not far ahead of him. Jim's carrying a bit of damage, and Bazza isn't. So there's he can gain on Jim. Homesick Alien still leading. Bandit is past Guesty. So we've missed something there as well. Bloody hell, boys. It's an hour of bloody race as it is. All these overtakes. When was that done then? So that must have not been long after his amazing first corner stuff by Guesty. Still ahead of Bandit. Bandit, though, big gains from Bandit in this race. He's Guesty sideways, coming out the corner. And yeah, Guesty having a big heap of oversteer. And Jimbo thought he was down. And look at him, he's staring at a podium position again. Unbelievable stuff, this race. The twists, the turns. It's twistier than the downhill bit. In the chats, oh no, Jim! Finding that odd bit of road where the car just doesn't want to go the right way. And that puts Big Dan up into 4th now. Guesty, he's sliding the car around these cars. I think the cold track and now the hards are starting to wear a little bit. I think they're finding these cars are a little slidier than they have been in the past. Homesick Alien leading this race, poised to take that championship. And, well, even without the win, Snorlax down there in 7th, struggling with lack of grip around the mountain. Homesick he can lose a couple of positions. So Bandit then in 2nd place. Is Bandit smelling a win here? People are falling off the track. People are having shocking moments in the dark here down under. And Bandit so far, Bandit has kept it together in every single turn of the way so far. The 16 minutes we've been racing, and it's a 60-minute race. We've still got a long way to go before that checkered flag comes out. And at the moment, Bandit is on fire. Guesty then having a couple of wobbles along the way. He's there for a podium. He was under threat from Jim, but Jim has really dropped back. Oh, Jim's going in. He's got damage front, back and everywhere. Suspension. He's decided he's going to pull his 5 laps. And maybe it is true. Maybe these tyres have just lost all cohesion whatsoever. The lap times, we'll check the lap times. Snorlax struggling. The Bazza isn't, though. The Bazza finding now the car is a little lighter. Oh, there you can see it. There definitely is some struggles out there with grip. I am surmising. I know it says that the racing hards are barely touched, but I think in the dark, cold track, slightly used hard tyres, that they're really starting to lose grip out there on the mountain. Guesty, he's slinging it away there. He's trying his hardest to big gains. Oh, there's a yellow flag. Oh, what's happened? Bandit's had a drop. Bandit after me bigging him up about no problem. But I don't even think that is Bandit. I think that the track is so cold at this time of night, and the tyres are starting to wear a little. The grip levels are just dropping away. And Big Dan could still be a big chapter in this race, sitting in 4th place, and he can see all 3 leaders This is unprecedented. This is amazing stuff. Bazza, whoa! Bazza feeling it on the barrier, but he didn't pick up damage, so maybe that was a lag spike rather than a bounce off the barrier. But Snorlax there in 6th again. Snorlax facing the wrong way, and he is not enjoying these conditions at the moment. It's like it's raining out there. The grip levels are rain-like. And there we see Guesty also making the decision to come in. Big Dan as well. They're all coming in. There's no grip whatsoever. And Jim already on those soft tyres. He could make a big difference here. But remember, the soft tyres will be grippier. Doesn't mean that the track's any warmer, though. And it's still going to be a slippery track out there. Homesick Alien staying with it. Out there in the lead with Bandit not too far behind either. Could that be the right move? Stay with the hard tyre. Live it out. Live out the slippery surface. Or come in and get them softs. We will see. Guesty hasn't lost barely anything coming in. He's not fueled anything in as well. But why would he? He's going to be in 5 laps to put the hards back on. Or another set of softs. But he can fuel up then. The Bazza setting chase on his hard tyres. And, I was going to say Bazza's loving these conditions, but it's a 2:23 from him last time around. And I'm thinking we're seeing a little bit of dawn in the background there. The light is starting to come up. And it's these early hours, obviously, when the track is very slippery. With the morning dew, that must be what they're feeling out there. Big Dan, he's gone to racing softs. He's on his outlap. Jimbo, and obviously he had a bit of a shocker before he went in. He had damaged both ends and in last place. But he's already gained on Jokus and Snorlax after their pit stop. Snorlax chasing down Jokus. And as the sun definitely rises here on the mountain, Jimbo with that early pit stop may have made a great move there. So Bandit now ahead of the Alien picking up damage. My word. There it is. Oh, there it is. The back end just not wanting to sit down properly for him. And he's bitten a bit of barrier there, caused a bit of damage. And Bandit now is the leader of this race. Hasn't pitted yet, but he is in the lead of the race with Homesick Alien in 2nd, Guesty in 3rd. And my word, these have all been on through the night. They've been on adventures, and now the day is breaking. What will bring? We're not even halfway through this race yet. Big Dan, 4th place so far. Soft tyres doing well for him. Jimbo, is he catching? Is he gaining on the Baz? The Baz hasn't pitted though, remember. And Homesick's gone in. Maybe he's seen Guesty not lose that much time from his pit stop. Thinks possibly, and he's had a slide off the road, obviously. And at the moment, Bandit is really doing the job on the racing hard tyres. Guesty then moves up into 2nd as Homesick Alien into the pits. Big Dan, he's on those softs. Has he made big gains on Homesick Alien? It looks like he possibly has done. There's Homesick Alien appearing from the big exit. Big Dan's out. Big Dan's up. Big Dan's into a 3rd position. Come on, Big Dan. Homesick Alien then leaving it too long, obviously, for that pit stop. And now he's down into 4th place, but it's only a lap. It's only 1 lap. Big Dan's got to come in after 5 laps of using the soft tyre. And Homesick Alien has got a whole 5 laps still on the roster. Big Barry Bazza has gone onto the soft tyre now. Look at him up into 5th. We counted him out. I counted him out at the beginning of this race. He was quite far back, but he's come back into the race now. And look at him in 5th place, chasing down Homesick Alien. But there is Jim getting the fastest lap of the race. And he's starting to really stretch out those racing soft tyres. Bazza's onto the soft tyres now, though, so he can compete. But he's on that outlap, that crucial outlap where the tyres just aren't warm enough. And the track, this track in this morning, early, misty kind of time, is a bit slippery. And they're just trying to deal with it at the moment. Jimbo, though, flaming in the Karcher Swift. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 22 minutes, coming up to 23 minutes in the race. He's chasing down the Bazinator. Snorlax, what an absolute shame. He had it all, and the track bit him. He went to Bathurst, and Bathurst bit Snorlax. What a shame. But he's looking good now. He's got some softs on. He's chasing down Jim and the Baz, and he's not that far behind him. Bandit has brought it in. Bandit, from the lead of this race, comes in for his soft tyres, and Guesty then goes through into the lead of the race. The pole sitter, he's had an adventure, and he's come out the other end in the lead, and I have no reason to think he's going to have that lead after all the pit stops are done. He's got a lovely gap on the Big Dan. Big Dan up in second now, with Homesick Alien in third. Bandit onto the softs, out of the pits in fourth, and he gets to do a lap extra on those softs to everyone else, so he's in a good position as well. This is a tricky call here. The top four, all very close, and they're all on different, they've got to come in at different times. I think Guesty, I'm going to say, has done 3 laps. Is he on his 4th lap, possibly? Big Dan, he could be on his 5th lap. No, 4th lap. Homesick, I think he's on his 2nd lap. Bandit's still on his 1st lap. Bazza is on his 2nd lap of the softs. So yeah, it's a mixed bag out there of who's going to be coming in and when. Jimbo driving his absolute booty off, flipping out. Guessed he's done a 2:13. 2:13. What were we seeing before that? 15 from Big Dan. Homesick hasn't really put a lap in yet, nor has Bandit. Bazza, that's an outlap, I think. 16 from Jimbo. 14 from Snorlax. Joker's 17. So, wow, a 13.8 is pretty darned impressive by Guesty. I said he was flaming, didn't I? I said he was on fire, and he really is proving that with his performance here at Bathurst for round 6 of the Suzukiii Swift Endurance Cup Challenge Championship. And it looks like Homesick Alien's going to walk away from this one as Champione, with no Racer Brown here to contest. And Snorlax having an absolute nightmare from Bathurst. And Guesty then leads. Big Dan in second. Big Dan and Bandit, absolute treasure chests in this race. Come into their own. Look at them, silently just bubbling under the surface, and now they're both of them have got a good chance of possible wins here. Bazza counted him out lap 1, thought he was done, and he's there, 5th place at the moment, holding his own up against the Baz, doing a 2-4. I mean, up against Jim, doing a 14.7. I don't know what that noise was. That was like nearly like Cartoon Network. So yeah, Bazza 2:14.7. Last time around, Jim a 16.6. 2 seconds slower. So Jim not getting the best out. Oh, he's getting them now. I was saying he's not getting the best out of those soft tyres. It must be on his, I guess, last run. Yeah, this is his 5th lap, so he's going to be coming in. He's not even going to be able to, if he gets purples all the way around, he can't keep it. That's a stab. The Bazza, I think he's still got another lap after this one on those softs. Jokers. Jim was the first one in on the pit stops. Is he going to double stack it? Do we think another set of softs are going to go on to Jim's car for another 5 laps? Possibly. Jokers in 7th, and Snorlax just having no luck whatsoever here at Bathurst. And now the sun is raging. It's looking absolutely glorious along the mountain. And I make big apologies. I said we were going to do the whole race in the dark, but it was only 20 minutes, wasn't it? And there goes Guesty. Has he done 5 laps? He hasn't even done 5 laps, has he? That was like his 4th lap, I think. So Guesty, for some reason, early pits, maybe not. That could... I don't know anymore. Homesick Alien continues on, though, and takes the lead of the race. I should have a notepad next to me and write their names down and then write what lap they come in if I see it. So Guesty's double stacked on the softs, come out. Sure, he's done 1 lap less, though. Bandit catching him, and he's only on his 2nd lap. 2nd or 3rd lap for the softs. Oh, damn you, Racer Brown, and your confounded silly rules that make me have to do math during the stream. It's too much thinking. Love the idea, don't like the... I wish the game had a way of informing you. Like putting S and H next to the times so I know what tyres or laps they've done on what blooming thingy. Bandit looking very racy against Guesty at the moment. Guesty bringing his tyres up to temperature. He's not. He's already done his outlap, has he? I thought this is his outlap. Oh my God! I don't think it tells you the outlap always, because I'm sure Guesty's on an outlap. Homesick Alien then leads the way, but he does have to pit to do his either 2nd stint of softs or return back to hard tyre. Guesty in 2nd, Bandit in 3rd. Ooh, Guesty having a chunk of... and he's done damage as well. Saw Guesty there, hitting the barrier. Down the straight with that spoiler and suspension damage at the rear of his car. That should help Bandit close the gap nicely. And the M&M car already looking for a definite podium position in this race. We're halfway through, and the Bandit is having an absolute stunning round. Big Dan as well. Oh, Big Dan's picked up a bit of damage there. He's got a nice bit of space from Big Baz. Bazza, though, Jokers is back into this one. Jim's pitted again to go onto the other set of softs. That's put him behind Snorlax, who's just taken the fastest lap. Oh, that's painful, man. I hope he doesn't... I mean, I hope he does keep the fastest lap, because it's always good to have them for stats. But, oh, then all he would have had to do is win the race. Oh, that's all. But other than the real huge offs that Snorlax has had in this race so far, he's had a great... And they're all coming in here, look. So Big Dan, Bazza, and Snorlax, and Jokers, all of them in one clump. Beautiful stuff. Jim can sail by all of those guys, as Bandit was one of the last to pit, and Homesick as well, but Homesick must be about due. Yeah, I think Homesick's on his 5th lap. Bandit, I think is on his 4th lap of the soft tyre. Guesty is on his 1st. I don't know. I think he's on his 1st lap. Well, he might have done a lap now. Yeah. He's done a lap. So he's on his 2nd lap of the softs. It's crazy. So Big Dan then back onto the softs ahead of Jim. Jim's made big leaps there. That could come in handy on when he comes in to change his tyres. I don't know. I can't judge this one. Bazza right on his tail, though. Bazza's had an absolute cracking turnaround in this race. Snorlax up into 7th ahead of Jokers. That fastest lap helping Snorlax up the grid a little bit now. They're all under half away of fuel. There's not going to need a lot of fuel in the cars. They've been topping up along the way they have. They must have done, because I don't think Homesick Alien's topped anything up, and he's down to a 1/4 of a tank. So some of these guys have been topping up as they've been changing their tyres. But yeah, they're going to need at least half a tank, it seems, or 3/4 of a tank to get to the end of the race from now. And there you see Guesty down to a quarter. He retakes the lead, but he will have to pit soon himself. Will Homesick? Oh, that's first. That's Homesick. He still only used one set of softs, hasn't he? So he possibly is going to go on to another set of soft tyre. We Bandit up into second now. And I think he's still on his first set of soft tyres. He does one lap more than the Alien. So Guesty on his second set of racing softs, out in the lead. Bandit halfway through his, well, he's got a lap, this lap and another, I think. No, I think he might have to pit at the end of this one. I'm not sure. God, I'm not sure. See, that one says outlap. Why didn't Guesty say outlap? Oh, I don't know. Guesty then takes Snorlax's fastest lap with a 2:12.9. And Guesty putting himself in prime position when all the things shake out to be in the lead of this race, coming into the final section of it. Bandit, he's done a super job. It's hard to call, you know. It's hard to call who's on the best strategy here. It's only a lap or two between them. Haven't really been noticing the fuels. Bandit hasn't been fueling up. Big Dan, oh, Big Dan did fuel up on the softs, Big Dan. I mean, it hasn't cost him much. And he's going to be a quick dash in the next pit stop, but he's hurting himself with the soft tyres. You want to be on a nice light car, surely. But maybe he likes the heavier car with the grip. Maybe he feels he can sling it in a bit more. But he's already fueled up big time. Jimbo hasn't. He's waiting until that final pit stop to put what he needs in for the rest of the race. Bazza, he's on a quarter. He's chasing down Jim. He did a 24 last time, but I'm not sure. That wasn't an outlap, was it? Jim with a 14.2. He's up on his own time again. Jimbo trying to turn this race around. Had a big one just before the pit stop. Well, I think when the track went slippery, him and Snorlax seemed to be affected the most. And he's trying to gain something out of this. So Bandit in. It was just one more lap than Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien then moves up into second place. Jimbo, we were watching. I wanted to watch a lap. So he looked like he was having a good one here. He's just up again on his own time. Coming down towards the chase. That looks mighty fine from the Jim as he brings it down towards Murray's corner. That was a fine lap around Bathurst there for a 2:14. Oh, he lost a little bit in the last sector, but Jimbo chasing down Big Dan on those soft tyres. Big Dan, though, it's going to be a splash and dash for him in the next pit stop. Bazza, he's got to put fuel in. He's on them soft tyres. I'm not sure how long he's done. It looks I don't know. I honestly don't know. Three laps maybe. Snorlax trying to get himself back into this race. You can see the back end of Bazza, but really all he's doing is racing for position now. He's not, the championship slips away from him, it seems, and it's such a shame because he started so strong. But in that night time on those racing hard tyres, they just seemed to fall to pieces. The track just became like it was wet, like it was slippery, like morning dew. The credit to the coders if that is something they built into the game. But it was, these drivers really struggled with it in those early hours of the virtual morning. Jokers in 8th place, fine looking car. Remember, this is the last we're going to see of these cars now. We've got 23 minutes left of this race, and then the season's over. We'll be looking forward to our Tuesday evening treats with a little bit of GT3 World Endurance Series. I think it's series. Oof, Jokus having a chew of the barrier there, mowing a bit of lawn in his Swift, in his granny guzzler. And Guesty at the moment peacocking it out there in the lead. Fuel tank's flashing, but I think he's coming to the end of his run. Jimbo would be the first to come in, which is probably this lap, maybe. No, I think he's only on his 4th lap. His second run of the softs. Fuel's flashing, so this will be Jim's last run. And I tell you what, Jim did a 14 last time. Bazzo really caught him up in this lap alone. So Jim did a 15.2 and the Baz did a 14.1, and that's put Bazza right on Jim's tail. So Jim has to watch his 6 for the remainder of this lap. Bazza's going to be after him, but Jim will be pitting before the Baz. And Snorlax, I think they're all pitting around the same time. Joker's Snorlax, maybe Bandit and Big Dan. Big Dan too far away from Bandit. Bandit absolutely don't know if he's going to be able to make an impression on Guesty and Homesick, but Guesty, he'll be into the pits. I'm expecting the end of this lap. If I'm reading that right, he had a shocker on lap 16. He'll even admit that. That's nearly 10 seconds down. Has he already pitted? No, he's got the racing softs on. But yeah, 2:25. He's nearly 10 seconds off of... Well, he's over 10 seconds off of his fastest. So, yeah, Guesty, I don't know what happened. Lap 16. Lost a handful of time. Hopefully he's not going to regret that. It's a big chunk of time to give away, isn't it? And here he comes into the pits. He'll be topping up with fuel and putting on some racing hard tyres and going to the end. Homesick Alien still has another lap, I think, on him. So completing this one and doing another. And he's pulls out a 2:14.15. Not great, really, on the soft tyre. He wants to be putting those fast purples in to try and keep up with the Guesty. And Bandit through's got another lap on the Alien. He does a 2:13. He's faster than the Alien at the moment. Homesick Alien a 15 and a 15. And already Bandit with a 13, nearly 2 seconds faster than Homesick Alien. And Homesick Alien might find he's going to be behind the Bandit after the pit stops. Interesting stuff. So there's Guesty then. Half a tank of fuel, 20 minutes of racing hard tyres. He's ahead of Big Dan. Where he'll be in relation to Homesick Alien and Bandit, I do not know. After losing a huge chunk of time on one of his laps, I think Homesick and Bandit might be quite close within him. Big Dan, they're all going to be pitting the same. There's Jimbo. He was one of the first to pit. I think Guesty short stinted one of his. I think he only did 4 laps on his first run. But anyway, Jimbo in, topping her up for the rest of the race, and then he's going to wait for these guys to come back to him. Hope he's done enough on the soft tyre. And Snorlax there at 2:18 as well. They're losing a lot of time to some of these guys on their softs. Bazza had a good run on his softs. And that's really all you can do, is make the most out of your soft tyres, like Big Dan. Sorry, Barry has done well, and Big Dan. Guesty then out on those hard tyres, 3rd place. And Bandit's doing really well. I've got a feeling Bandit might be a threat to Homesick Alien come the end of it. I don't know. So Homesick Alien leads the race and the championship at the moment. No sign of Racer Brown. And poor Snorlax absolutely was the first to fall to the slippery track. But many fell after him, including Guesty, Homesick Alien, Bandit at one point. 2:14.7. It's a little bit better from the Alien. Bandit, though, what's he pulling? If he's pulling another 13... No, it's slower. That's a 14.8, about the same, a little slower. So Bandit, he needs to be pulling in those real fast times against the Alien, I'm afraid. The Alien up on his own time. Big Dan is coming in. Big Dan in. That means Bazza, I imagine, is going to be in. Snorlax and Jokus, and that's where we'll see where Jim can wash this one out. So Big Dan in, is the Bazza in. Bazza and Snorlax having an absolute humdinger of a race at the moment, and Bazza in, Snorlax. Now Big Dan, remember, he doesn't have to put any fuel in. These guys do. Jokus as well, I'm guessing, will be in at the end of this one. So it's an out-and-out pit battle between Bazza and Snorlax's pit crew. And Big Dan, just a wheel change and I'm out, he says. See ya, mic drop, bye. So great stuff from Big Dan. It was a good call, putting that fuel in earlier. And this is the battle then. Bazza's guys have got the wheels off. They've got the fuel on. Snorlax, they've got the fuel on. Jokus is just rocking up to his pit box. And there we go. He's like leisurely walking away with that tyre. Bazza's been released. Snorlax has not been released. Bazza, oh no, that's Jokus. Sorry, Bazza is out on track ahead of Jim. Jim's pushing like hell. He's chuffing that car along, but he's not got the position on the Baz. And the Baz absolutely crucified Snorlax's pit crew. Absolutely destroyed Snorlax in the pit lane. Unbelievable stuff. That Belgium workmanship, that workcraft from the Belgians in the pit lane absolutely tore Snorlax a new one, and Jim just couldn't. His fingertips were there on 5th place, but the Bazza and the pit crew, but Bazza now letting his pit crew down in a big way. Looked like he had a big chunk of barrier there, and Jimbo wants a piece of him as Homesick Alien comes in, and this is a big showdown at the front as we're watching this battle develop here for 5th and 6th place. Homesick, Bandits come in, that must be a lap earlier, that must be. Maybe fuel has dictated his laps. I think he's on his 4th lap. Homesick's in then, Bandit's in. Guesty retakes the lead, so Guesty has done enough. I thought losing that big, huge chunk of time on lap, what was it, 16, was going to be too painful for him. But no, easy out and into the lead. Homesick Alien out and into 2nd place. And Bandit, can he keep that 3rd, or is Big Dan a big threat? Bandit then, he's out into the pit lane. He's driving, a bit wobbly coming out of the lane, but he's got that podium. He's got the podium secured. Big Dan just too far away from the action. Bazza and Jim and Bazza out there fighting it, duking it out. Whoa, Bazza's thrown it off at the scenery. Bazza's gone wild, and Jim moves up into 5th place. And I'm sure for Jim that is small rewards for the work he's put in this evening for this race. He's driven like a champion, but the track was against him, as it was for many others out there. Bazza then, oh my lord, he's lost that position to Snorlax and his pit crew. I'm looking down the pit lane now, and I can see the Belgians are just absolutely, they've got a poster of Bazza and they're throwing darts at it right now. They're throwing darts at it and they're slashing his tyres. And you can see that they're disappointed for all their good hard work in the pit lane coming to naught as Barry throws it off at the scenery and now ends up behind Snorlax in 7th place. Joker's still in this race. Haven't said much about him, but he's there, chuffing it on. Doesn't look like Bathurst is Jokes' track of choice. I don't know, it doesn't look like he's as comfortable around here. Although looking good at the moment, isn't he? He's got back onto the hard tyres. And he's through there, lovely and clean. And I think we've caught Jokers on a good lap around at the moment. It's clean as a whistle there. And I was saying this isn't his track, but he's doing fine. Oh, hanging it around. Beautiful little scrape of the barrier, but you expect that. Around there, another fast corner that he attacks. Doesn't even use the whole track. Down towards, this is the tricky part, trying to kill the speed before you hit the right-hander. Slides it in, slings it through the left. Then it gets real tight in a minute. No, he's already through the real tight bit. And then this one, killing the speed down this little hill to go around the left-hander. And Beautiful stuff, flooring it all the way down. Is it Conrod Straight? Pat knows. Pat was amazing. I don't know where it's gone, but there was a qualifying thing for this before the update shafted us. And Pat talked us around a lap, and it was beautiful. It took me there. I was there. I really was. It was delicious. So Jokus then, maybe in 8th place, but wow, what driving. It's been magnificent to watch him hitting the track. I mean, he's left a few apexes. He's been a bit shy with the boundaries of the track, but nice lap. Oh, there you go. He's not shy with that boundary. Look at him go. Go on, Jokus. And he pulls out a 2:18. Not his fastest, but he's done softs, so come on. Guesty then, the man in the lead. He's not a huge lead against Homesick Alien, but he'd have to throw it off. You would have to throw the car off out the scenery or have a spin or do something ridiculous. He's got fastest lap. He's in that little mid-battle in the middle of the pack with the likes of Jim and Ensign Hewitt. And I think this one, he may end up ahead of Racer Brown and maybe even Snorlax. No, he's not going to catch Snorlax. I don't think he's going to catch Racer Brown as well. Guessed he's on 53 points. He'll put him even with Racer Brown, but Racer Brown will be ahead of him on wins, I imagine. Although he's got that fastest lap, so no, he'll be and the pole. So yeah, I think that'll put Guesty up into 3rd place in this championship. Snorlax is scoring, so Snorlax should be all right. And Snorlax, look at him, he's up into 5th place. From a disaster of a race, it's not been too bad. Bazza and Jim, we've got a lovely little tight battle here going into the last 10 minutes of the race with Snorlax, Barry and Jim all very close together. Unbelievable stuff. Guesty out in the lead. Looks like he's unfazed, unbothered. Homesick Alien. No one around him. He's trying to make big gains on Guesty, but he's not going to lose the championship doing so. He could lose the championship if he had a massive off. And Snorlax ended up 2 places ahead of him, maybe 3. So, Homesick Alien, I reckon now at this point his mindset would be, let's just bring this baby home. Let's bring this baby home. And get my 102nd championship under my belt. Bandit podium. Beautiful stuff. And it doesn't look like it's all his to throw away at this point. 10 minutes from the end of the race. Excuse me. 10 minutes from now, let's have a look at Guesty's fuel now. Guesty's all right. Guesty is renowned for not fueling up enough in these races. But Guesty has fueled up enough. And he's leading the way with Homesick in 2nd, Bandit in 3rd. Beautiful top 3. Big Dan in 4th. Now, Big Dan just too far behind Bandit. And I thought Big Dan was going to be a threat in the podium situation, but no, Big Dan having it. Wow. He's not scared, is he? He's not scared of that accelerator. He'll throttle it all the way through it. Right, Ensign Hewitt, who is Big Dan, is in the chat saying, still good, I hit the wrong button and didn't change tyres at first stop. At least I still had a lap on my soft stint allowance. But it still added another stop that I didn't need. Oh, Big Dan had an issue. Oh, well, we missed it. I missed it, Big Dan. Sorry, man. Oh, that's why he's not in contention with the podium then. I thought you were closer to the Bandit and that battle up there. So it looks like Big Dan had to make a double pit stop because he got the wrong tyres. Made another trip in, but he's 4th. Snorlax now in 5th, but Bazza's chasing him down. This is tantalising stuff. Let's on board with the Baz. And the Baz fancy Snorlax. Well, he wasn't the championship leader coming into this round, but he was a championship contender. And now Bazza giving him some jip in 5th and 6th place. And it's looking good. And Jim wants to be the janitor in this situation and clean up. Just Jimbo is right there, and he's hoping there's a situation happening ahead of him. So on board with Jim, well, alongside Jim, why not? We don't see his helmet that often. And we can see the battle here for 5th, 6th and 7th. Up ahead, not much action. Guesty, he's miles ahead of the Alien. Homesick Alien in 2nd. Bandit pretty much all on his own in 3rd. And Big Dan all on his own in 4th. Then we've got this battle here with Snorlax, Bazza and Jim. We're on board with Jim. And so far, so good. 7 minutes left of this 60-minute race. And my word, these guys, after driving for 53 minutes through the night time and into the day, you'd think fatigue would start feeling. And these guys still racing right up till the last minute. My words. The energy of these old codgers. I don't know how old they are. I think I'm the oldest, so I can't say anything. And I'm the dick on the mic, so who's the bigger child? So Bazza then had a wiggle then. Oh, so Jim, so close. Jim trying to work out what's lag and what's wiggles. Oh, Jim having a nasty knock. A nasty knock with the curb. I reckon he had his eye on Bazza there, because I did. And I didn't see that barrier either. But Jim having a little knock with the barrier. And Barry now doesn't have to worry about that threat behind. He can just zone in on Snorlax. Use that laser focus and try and finish the final race of the season up in 5th place. Big Dan then with a double pit stop. A mistake on the tyres, is out of contention for a podium, but 4th place, not bad, with an extra pit stop. Oh, and Ensign saying, that's why I was so far behind P3. Would have had a good battle with Bandit otherwise. Extra pit stop, gutted. Was a fun race otherwise. Great championship. Big thanks to Racer Brown. There you go. If you could turn up for it. Joking. We know that drug run's a lot more important. Mutual! Money. I don't know the Mexican for money or Colombian for money. So Big Dan then gutted with his race, 4th place. That's how far Big Dan's come in his journey with the Virtual Racers Club, where he was happy just to be coming in last and just to be part of it. And now it gutted that he's not getting podiums. That's where Big Dan's head's at, ladies and gentlemen. So Bandit there in a podium position. Beautiful stuff. He's driven a near perfect race. Hasn't put a foot wrong. Got the right tyres on when he should have a bit. Sorry, Big Dan. There's no need for it. There's no need for it. I don't know why. I'm so catty. So Homesick Alien out there, it's because I can't drive as fast as you guys. It's jealousy. That's the commentator's curse, is jealousy. I love it. I love the commentator's curse. I pretend I don't, but if I say someone's doing well and then they don't, secretly behind, it's that German word, I can't remember what it's called. When you're happy for other people's downfall. So Homesick Alien, what? Whoa, hang on, no. Guessed he was leading this race, sorry. I've got sidetracked here. Hang on. Jesus, that happened a while ago. I should have gone back a lap. I was so adamant that... Here we go. Right, I've gone 30 seconds before the change. 7 minutes left of the race. I'd written these two off. I wasn't even paying any attention. 2:20 from Guesty last time around, a 2:16. So yeah, Homesick Alien would have pulled in 4 seconds on the last lap alone. So Guesty, a little distraction maybe. Oh, and then locks the brakes up. He really isn't concentrating on his lap. And that was just a human error. Plain and simple. And Homesick Alien comes on through, championship leader. And now race leader of the final event. And Homesick Alien cannot believe his luck. Unbelievable stuff from Guesty. Wow. What was he doing? Was he playing with the fag lighter? He's switching some buttons around on his wheel. Probably having a chat with the wife, saying, that's an easy win. So Ensign Hewitt saying, I'm just happy to have a sniff of a podium. To balls it up with a button press is gutting. No, I know, I'm only teasing. I'm teasing, man, it's great. So Big Dan driving home angry. It's all quiet in the car. The wife, the kids even know not to speak. Daddy's angry. Put diesel in instead of petrol. With his own mistakes, so he's no consoling him. You can't say, oh, well, you know, they put the wrong sticker on it, didn't they? He made a human error, and now he's going to batter himself. Even now, what, 2 weeks later? 2 weeks? A week later? This race was the race before my surgery, which would have been Tuesday. A week and a half later, he's still angry with himself. I love men and their mentality. It's great. We're amazing. We make a mistake and we're angry with ourselves for months. So Homesick Alien out there in the lead. Guesty in second place with the Bandit in third. And that's it. Hey, Big Dan. I mean, it's the way of the world, isn't it? I mean, it's gutting for you that you didn't get the podium, but Bandit got the podium, and that's awesome in itself, because the little turtle, he's grown from a turtle to a bandit to a bendit, and now look at him, podium in the final race of the Swift Challenge, the Suzukiii Swift Endurance Cup Challenge Championship, and Bandit coming on home in third. Beautiful. Big Dan in fourth with Snorlax and Bazza. I forgot about their battle because of the whole change of the lead and then chatting to Big Dan on the chat. But Bazza and Snorlax hard at it, and Jim's back in the action again. On board with the Jimbo at the side of him. I love being Jim's passenger. Feel safe in Jim's cars. I wouldn't drive in his passenger seat around Brands Hatch, but anywhere else I'm happy to sit in his passenger seat. So Jim chasing down Snorlax, and Bazza's had a big bit of barrier. And Snorlax all up in his business now. And Jimbo gets to watch. I love his little, they all got that nice little colour thing on their dashboards. And it looks to me like Jimbo giving Snorlax a little bump draft down the straight there, helping Snorlax ahead of the Baz. The Baz looks wide, he is wide, he's lost the position to Snorlax and Jimbo, and the Baz must be absolutely mortified. Well, no, he doesn't care. But Snorlax now up into fifth place with Jim in sixth, and Bazza probably having a little chuckle to himself. Oh no, Jim's wide now, Jim's wide, come on, keep your heads, boys. 3 more minutes to go. What's that, 2 more laps? And Snorlax then up into fifth with Jim in sixth, the Bazza in seventh, all up in his busyness. Joker's just having fun out there in eighth place, and Homesick Alien leads from Guesty, who wants to right the wrong that he made earlier in the race, or 2 laps ago. And Bandit there in third. Is he in contention? I'll tell you what, if Guesty and Homesick get into it, but they'd have to get into it quite grisly for Bandit to catch him up. But Bandit's not 100 miles away. Big Dan is 100 miles away because he made an extra pit stop. He's still kicking himself about. Snorlax there in fifth place with the Jim ahead of the Baz. What a battle between Jim and Baz all the way. Let's get on board with the Baz. Baz's fuel's low. Is that okay? I'm not sure. I haven't tracked with other cars. We've only got 2 more minutes left. There'll be this lap and the next. I am sure that is probably enough fuel for the Bazinator. I am pretty sure. I wouldn't say 100% sure. Oh, Jokes has got a lot of fuel in. So's Big Jim. Snorlax has as well. Oh no, Guesty is somewhere like where Bazza is. And I did say Guesty is known to run that fuel very tight to the end of a race, and these two are definitely on their white flag lap now. It's the final countdown with Bandit in third place on his final lap. Big Dan comes to the line. What's going on here? Jim's got ahead of Snorlax. Jimbo has gone and got this race by the scruff of the neck. Bazza left behind. He went wide earlier. It's side-by-side action for Jim and Snorlax. Jim's got the inside line, but we know Snorlax... Oh, what's the frig's that? And Jim then against Snorlax, and Snorlax quite just got his nose ahead then. Jim again with the inside line, is it? He's got the inside line. He's side by side coming out of Murray's corner. There's still 30 seconds left on the clock. Snorlax still ahead of Jim, and the Baz is back in it. It's three going into Hell's corner. My word, and Snorlax ahead, and Jim's ended up behind the Baz. Unbelievable racing. Snorlax in 5th, Bazza is in 6th, Jim in 7th. Bazza's fuel, he's on Vapor, man. He's on vapors. Jokus then, he's going to finish the race, I imagine. 3 seconds to go as he comes towards the line, and that is Jokus finished for the Swift Endurance Challenge Championship. Great stuff. Homesick Alien next across the line, and he's quite a way ahead of the Bandit. Let's get back to this battle here then. Snorlax, Barry, Jim, as they bring it around. I'll keep an eye on where the Alien is on track. Snorlax just ahead of the Baz and Jim. What a battle royale we've had from these guys as Guesty and Homesick go through the chase. Guesty getting close. Guesty is drawing closer to the Alien, but now Homesick Alien going through Murray's corner, and that is him done. A win, a championship, an absolute huge one from the Alien. Well done. Guesty in 2nd. Great drive from Guesty. They just threw it away near the end there. Bandit bringing it home. Take a bloody boo, my son. Well done, Turtle. Bandit, bend it. Big Dan kicking himself. Comes around. So what's going on here then? Snorlax, Bazza, Jim, no change from these 3 contesting the battle all the way to the final corner. Big Dan goes through the final corner, 4th place. Brilliant drive from Big Dan. He wanted more, but still 4th place. I'd take it any day. Snorlax then, what could have been for Snorlax at the beginning of this race, he's gone real wide. Bazza nearly went that way, and he didn't. Snorlax gets back on the track, but he's got dirty tyres. He's off to the side. Jim and Bazza are going to go for a side-by-side right to the end. Jim's ahead. Bazza's got the inside line. Jim's off wide. Jim's in the barrier. Bazza goes across the line. Bazza gets 5th. Bazza gets 5th. Snorlax comes home in 6th, and poor old Jimbo, oh my word, gets 7th. Oh, what an absolute huge one in the final corner. Cracking stuff. Don't make me shout, boys. You'll make me rip my stitches. Jeez. Deep breaths, guys. So 1 hour of Bathurst done in the Suzukiii Swift Endurance Challenge Cup Championship. And what a race. What a race. What a topsy-turvy race. We started in the dark. We saw nothing. It got to early hours of the morning. The track suddenly lost all grip. Everyone was falling off the road. We had a flurry of pit stops. We lost our way in the softs count. And then we had just an out-and-out battle royale at the end there, with Guesty making a mistake, giving Homesick the win. Bandit having a solid run in 3rd, and the threat of Big Dan subsided with Big Dan's pressing the wrong button. Bazza, Snorlax and Jim absolutely caning it at the end there. Poor Jim. Deserved more out of that, but they all 3 of them did. And poor Snorlax coming into this race as the underdog for the championship and doing everything right. Qualifying ahead of the Alien, had the fastest lap at one point, but Guesty obliterated that. What a race, guys. What a race here at the Virtual Racers Club. Unbelievable stuff. So, and I imagine the championship table's been released, so I can quickly look at it for you, because I'm that kind of guy. I'm the kind of guy that will go and look in Discord, even though I never know what I'm doing in Discord. Some mentions, but I won't read them now. Hang on. Give me a sec. It is SEC. SEC info. Final championship table. Here we go. So, the Championio on 93 points is Homesick Alien. Congratulations, Homesick Alien. Like I said, on his 100 and something championship. Second place in the championship was Snorlax on 83 points, with Guesty getting that third place away from Racer Brown in the end on 73 points. Racer Brown also 73 points. That might be a count back to podiums, which, yeah, I think Guesty got more second places. Ensign Ewart finishing fifth in the championship on 70 points. Only 3 points off of Racer Brown, Ensign. Oof, if you'd got that podium, eh? Sixth place for Jim on 63 points. Bazza come home in seventh on 56 points. Bandit in eighth on 42 points. Joker's ninth on 38 points. And Majid 10th on 31 points. And that was a glorious championship. Now, your Tuesday evening action, because I do believe they've fixed it now. They've fixed the lobbies so we can live stream again. I'm just looking at GT3 Wes. It's in the Aston Martin, and the first round doesn't have a date on it. Well, I mean, there's a way you can do it, because you just go to the calendar. But hang on, let me find the calendar. Are we enjoying listening to me balls up Discord? I never know where the calendar is. Events. Server map. This is good. Ask for assistance. Shall I go into ask for assistance and say, where's the bloody calendar? At some point, look, I'll look at the sign up. If I go to sign up, I used to know where the calendar was, though. I used to be able to go and click on it and look at it, because I was clever. It must be racing schedule. No, that's just what the dailies are. Yeah. Right, well, I'll go and look at the sign up. If I go to sign up, then that'll tell me the date it starts. Open lobbies. Sign ups, GT Wes. Hey, Jubba Double Low Pace says he's going to sign up. Whew, that'd be cool. Haven't seen him race for a while. Right then, let's have a look. The dates are on this one. Here we go. Round one, the 21st to the 3rd. Oh, that's miles away, isn't it? So, yeah, Tuesdays are going to be a little quiet for a while, for a couple of weeks. 22nd, I believe. I don't know. I do remember there was discussion. Soon, sometime on Tuesdays, we'll be doing the GT3 Wes World Endurance Series in the Aston Martins. But I think there's going to be a flurry of streams, so stay peeled, because we've got coming up the WRX Challenge. I can't remember what round it is, from Bathurst. We've got the Stock Car Championship from Blue Moon. And then later tonight, live, we'll be back with the WRX Challenge. And I don't know where that is either. Right then. I don't know much. Excuse me. Cough. Cough indeed. I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Lou Sars. Thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. Peace and love. Peace and love. Turn around. Every now and then, I get a little bit lonely, but you're never coming round. Turn around. Every now and then, I get a little bit tired of listening to the sound of my tears. Bonnie Tyler. Deep.